In Portugal, it is possible to buy an abandoned ruin like this and turn it into something like this, or even like this. Now, it's obviously a lot more work than buying a fully completed property, but for the price, you have some serious potential. That is why we are looking at spending our life savings on a ruin in Portugal. After 11 years of constant travel, we are craving our own base to come home to after our trips. Somewhere to pour our love into, a place for our son to grow up, and for us to grow old. We completely fell in love with the Mondego River when we visited a couple of years ago, and are hoping that this will be the place that we can build our dream off-grid home. So the next obvious step would be to see what we can actually do with these kinds of ruins, like what potential they really do have. Now, some of you may remember a couple of years ago, Alex and I made a video at our friend's place here in Portugal at their off-grid villa.
Funny enough, it's just over there.
Which is just in the background there. He has done such a fantastic job of that place. But this time we've decided to rent a place over the river from him, which is completely different to what we've experienced before.
And it's extremely cute.
Yeah.
With a tiny swimming pool over there, and then you've got all of the green around.
I really want to show you guys what it looks like inside, because although it looks awesome outside with all the stonework, I think the inside looks even better. So you come in this cute little red doorway. I think he's done a really great job with the space here. You have a bit of wood, bit of the exposed brickwork here as well. Got a log burner to keep it warm in the winter time, because yes, it does get cold in the winter. There's a cute little bathroom
with not so cute smells.
Yeah, Alex was in here 10 minutes ago.
You've got the rustic stone here that kind of gives it like a cave vibe.
Yeah, alongside all the wood and the tiles, which of course you see in every property here in Portugal. And then he's actually saved space by doing a stairway, kind of almost like a ladder stairway, where you go up and there's a whole nother level up here. And this is the upstairs area. So we actually have another entranceway just behind where Alex is. And yeah, this is the whole space. So it is very much like a tiny home. It
depends on the size of the ruin on the land about how big of a place we can build. So the next step is actually to get out and go and see some land.
We're actually going to do this, we're going to have to figure out what's going on. Luckily we have a friend who's already our canary down the mine, and we are going to go and check out the land that he's already bought, pick his brains and ask some questions. Now this is the way in to our friend's land. As you can see, it is massively overgrown at the moment, so me and Noah are going to stay behind in the air conditioning of the car while the boys go out and scout out the land.
One of the benefits of buying something like this is that you do get a lot of land attached with the ruins. Now the negative is you do get a lot of land attached with the ruin. One of the worst things is you get these invasive species, so you've got mimosa that overtakes all the land, which is going to cost a bit of a fortune and a lot of labour. The reality is it is a bit of a burden, so all of this overgrown land here is our friend Kev's, and in total it's about 24 acres of land, an unbelievable amount of space, but also an unbelievable amount of upkeep. Whoa, this is huge, Kev.
It's enormous, isn't it? 115 square meters, I think we said. So like the planning and figuring all that stuff out is quite complex here, but it looks like I'll get permission to like rebuild the house to this size plus a little bit extra, but that's like a whole planning process you've got to go through.
So what's your plan with the actual building itself?
My dream is to build an eco home here, to make this as eco-friendly as possible, to have off-grid power, to reinstate the wells, to have my own water supply, grow my own food, that type of thing.
I feel like this is one of those projects, if you really know what you're getting into, you would never do it in a million years. But if you go in and you can see the potential, and you just don't get bogged down by the details, what you can get for your money is something that you just couldn't find anywhere else.
It's like, I kind of wish it was half the size, but that's what I've got, so let's see what happens, yeah.
To have a house in Europe overlooking a river with all that land that you can farm and live off, for me it's just the dream, and if it's possible, I want to make this happen. We've come down to the river part of Kev's land, so everything that you can see here is going to be his, and it's going to go around that corner as well. So it's a bit loud over here because you do have the dam. Not every part of the river has that. but it's also pretty relaxing within just the flow of water. And then you've got like the calmer side over here as well. But the reason I want to live on this river is that every time I come, I see kingfishers without fail. And the thought of having a kingfisher at the bottom of my garden just fills me with all kinds of childish excitement. And I just can't really think of anything better to invest my money in than to have a sustainable living option next to a relaxing part of nature.
Going to see this land with a baby has been a bit of a challenge due to the access to all these properties just being really hard to get to.
So we had to go separately. So I went with Kev, and as you can see from the road, it is so bumpy and crazy, and not everything has access this badly, but these one lead to the interesting plots, so you get some amazing off-grid spots.
I also went to go and see a plot of land with Nick, and I think we found the one. So this is where the property starts. It's very overgrown around here. So he's just saying there's terraces here, here. You can, like the shoreline's right here, so the terraces start pretty much straight away. He's also saying that you might uncover some walls around here.
We're both in agreement for the ones that we saw, as this one's very, very exciting. It has 8.5 acres of land, an incredible view of the river, but also the land stretches all the way down to the bottom of the river.
And
so
Noah's very excited about it too.
So we would basically own part of a mountain face, and it is a very reasonably priced 25,000 euros, which would have so much work to be done to it, but the potential is there.
I think the price of 25,000 is really reasonable because you're going to have to invest so much into clearing the land and prepping the land ready for the build itself, as well as having to actually make the building.
Neither of us were able to get actually down to the river due to how the whole place is so overgrown. So next step is to try and get much closer. We believe that the land that we're interested in is just on the other side of this river, and want to be able, because it's so overgrown, it's very difficult to see kind of what potential there is down here. So we have gone and bought a kayak with us, and we're going to find a way onto the river to go and scout out what is potentially ours. The second we pulled up here though, a kingfisher has darted across the river. I'm going to say that's a sign that we need this. Ready?
Ready. Yeah, let's do it.
How did you get roped into this, Nick?
Always do.
If we buy the land or not, this is one of my favourite adventures in a long time. I feel like a kid coming up with these schemes, basically, to be able to figure out if we want this land or not. See you later, guys. So we have to kind of guess where my land would be, and looking along the banks for things like this. So somewhere like that you could build decking, a barbecue area. Uh-oh! Oh no!
Oh shit!
Uh-oh. Yeah.
That's driving actually. Perfect.
So we have beached ourselves on this little river beach over here, and you can see there's lots of little places to explore. It's almost like mangroves. You have these little pools and pockets of water. It's very, very quiet. There's no other sign, so if we got this place, it would be our own personal haven for a number of years until they develop it, I'm sure. I wanted to go and explore the land, but as you can see it's very overgrown, and we left our shoes back where we launched, so I'm going to have to give up for now, but at least it gives me a rough idea of the work. It's very difficult to imagine another 8 acres of this and what that really means, but maybe I'm naive, but it feels very manageable even though it's never ending. I have shown Emma the clips of the river.
It looks so nice.
It was such
So
a nice
lovely.
slice of the river. I can't believe how calm and quiet and raw it all was.
It sounds really peaceful. Like when you just have the clip without any music over it and it's just the sound of the river, it's so lovely and peaceful.
So basically we are extremely interested in this piece of land, but we just need to take some time to figure it all out.
Yeah.
Because we don't want it to become a big money pit.
No, we want to actually know that we can do something with this.
So we are going to take a little bit of time to figure it out, but I am so excited about the potential. Apparently we can have up to 4 buildings on top of the ruin on the land, which would give us a lot to work with over time.
Yeah.
And I love the idea of having a nature reserve, our own personal nature reserve, all the way down to the bottom of the garden.
Making little trails, going all the way down, seeing what wildlife we come across. And as a playground for Noah as he grows up, oh my goodness, it's going to be heaven. We can't just move here without having felt like we've at least experienced life here a little bit. So we figured we'd come down to this little local spot, which seems like the place to be on a day like this, and take Noah for a little swim.
This definitely seems to be the place that the locals come, and a very nice relaxing spot that you could imagine coming to time and time again.
That's a hard no from him.
So -1 point for moving here.
Now we have just one final plot of land that we are going to go and look at before we make our final decision. We've met up with the guy who's going to show us the land, and we're currently following him about 20k down the river. Fingers crossed it'll be a good one. It would be really nice to have 2 really strong contenders.
I have no idea at all where we're going, and it definitely feels like an adventure as we follow them deep into the mountains. You can really feel how exclusive these properties are, because if they're not available online, how on earth would you know about them unless you know the right people? And that's why I'm so excited about this search, that we've managed to find the right people. I mean, we've come to an end of a line now. Look at this.
Oh.
At this point, the road got too bad for our rental car to continue, so I left Emma and Noah in the cool AC while I continued on the rough roads our search for our dream home. So this is the ruin of part of the house as well. Wow. This property has 2 ruins. I'm inside one of them at the moment, and that basically means that we can have 2 residential properties on the property itself, and you have to build within the size of the ruin, so you're kind of looking for which one is the right one for you. But this whole property is right next to the river, which is definitely a huge plus point, but it also has about 10 acres of land, which is a lot of land to manage, so that is definitely a downside, whereas at first I thought any land was all good land. Oh wow. No way.
Yeah, like this.
Whoa. Wow.
Literally next to God.
So close.
When we started the search for land here, we had 3 musts. For it to be secluded, have river access, and to come with planning permission. So again, this property ticked all of these boxes.
I know that this project would definitely be too much for us, but I still want to know, I don't know how much it's going to cost yet, but including on your land is an actual waterfall. That's absolutely bananas. So beautiful. Probably so expensive.
The process of checking out all of these different locations has definitely sparked our imagination of what could be possible and has got us so excited for things to come.
Hey,
How was it?
it's pretty bloody cool.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it's going to be very expensive, but I'd have to wait to see the price. But when you see the clips of what it looked like, you're going to want it too.
Oh no.
But if it's expensive, then we go
that
to the other
makes
place.
the decision for us, doesn't it?
2
So-
really great options.
But what if he comes to you and he says, oh, it's like 10k more than the other one?
Then I think we want this one.
Really?
It's pretty cool.
Oh.
After seeing this awesome property, we were pretty conflicted and not sure what we wanted to do next. So I went for one last trip to the land that we originally liked and that was definitely within our budget. I've come back to the land that I really like because I wanted to come and check the road access, and the road access is a big deal. And the thing is though, if we can overcome that, we would be welcomed with this view for where our house would be, and it's absolutely stonking and the reward is huge, but trying to find out how much a road would cost or to improve the road so it's not a nightmare every single time is going to be one of the tricky parts. But I do have a dream of waking up, going and having coffee on our balcony, looking out at this view, and then walking down to the river for a swim, then maybe drive back up to the top on our ATV because we're not going to want to walk up, so let's get a quad bike up. Why not dream, hey?
If we go ahead with it, this would easily be one of the biggest decisions of our lives. We are definitely taking time to think it all over, but the potential of building our dream home in one of our favorite nature spots with gorgeous food, weather, and good friends nearby is going to be pretty hard to turn down. Make sure you like and subscribe to follow the journey.